Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Around the Blockchain here on BitBoy Crypto. As you know, we empower you to find financial freedom through crypto assets. And today, there's no difference here. Got a great show for you tonight. Got a great group of panelists and guests, some fresh faces and some familiar faces. We got Crypto Lifer in the house tonight. We've got Meg Meg in the house tonight. Her first time on. Blockchain Crusader in the house. And last but not least, definitely a friend of the channel. We got Altcoin Daily. Guys, if you are not already following any of these folks, make sure that you pop down into the description of this video. You will find links to their channels. They work hard every single day to bring you the crypto content. So you get down there, you follow their stuff, and don't forget to like this video while you're at it, because that's how we spread the message here on BitBoy Crypto. All right, got a great show for you planned today. What are we going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about the crypto markets. Really funny. Had a very positive theme going, and then in the last little bit, the markets have decided to take a dump again. We'll see where that's going. Facebook planning to sell Diem. I think that thing was dead in the water from the beginning. And last but not least, we will wrap it up with the U.S. Treasury trying to sneak in a ban of all crypto transactions. So we will get into that. But before we do, let's check some market watch. As I said, the markets have not been so favorable in the last couple hours. We are currently looking at a global market cap of 1.6 trillion. We are down almost 0.18% on the day. Let's see. I'm going to do a quick refresh because sometimes Bitcoin likes to sneak around on me. 36.5. We were looking up. It was, I think, up to like 39 something earlier today. And then Mr. Powell, our buddy there, kind of screwed that up for us. ETH sitting at 24.37. BNB 368. Cardano $1.04. And I'm really looking forward to BJ. That's it for Market Watch today. I'm really looking forward to getting into this conversation because is this buying opportunities? Is it wait and hold time? We'll see. I'm really looking forward to seeing what everybody on our panelists has in store for us today with some of our answers. If it is your first time tuning into the show, you will notice everybody's got a little score down in the bottom corner of their box. If you are on the live chat, make sure you hit a +1. If you like what they're saying, we'll give them some points. Whoever's got the most amount of points at the end of the day will get to leave us with a parting word. All right, let's get into this because that's what y'all are here for. First topic we're going to talk about is the crypto markets. Now, again, BJ, if you will pull up my screen, that would be great. Again, Bitcoin briefly spiked earlier today on the Fed announcement before everyone realized that nothing was going to change. The Federal Reserve announced that the interest rates will remain at 0% with the first hike planned for March. And some press releases coincided with the price of Bitcoin going up and then going back down, back to where we were before. And as everybody expected, you know, nothing's going to change with this interest rate. So, Crypto Lifer, I want to come to you first on this. I know we spoke before we went live that you've got your charts up and ready to go. Pull up your chart and let us know what you're seeing, kind of what's going on in the market, what should we be looking at, and then kind of the sentiment moving forward.
Yeah, let's get into it real quick. As you know, I do a live stream every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. So check this out. I was looking at Bitcoin earlier today. I've been watching this rising wedge for the last few days. It wasn't a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, okay? We're looking at this, but when you get a higher high and you oscillate on the 4-hour, okay? This is the stochastics RSI down here, okay? I'm a religious user of it. Let me show you a bit something on the stochastics. I trade like a carpenter hits a nail, okay? I see it, how it's played out before, and I don't change my style. For instance, if you look at this, and you see this here, you see we have high stochastics, high stochastics, high stochastics, right? Now, every single time the stochastics were high on the 4-hour, we had nibble, nice tank there. Here we were high on the stochastics on the 4-hour in this chunky area. We went sideways, but eventually fell, and here we were high, and we would eventually dump. As I saw price coming up, I said, you know, if we can't break this high here, which is this little elbow here, it's highly likely we're going to see we're going to see more downside. That's how patterns work. That's how trading works. It's support and resistance. You mark your support and resistance when you stop. If you don't make another one, when the stochastics RSI oscillates, it's going to tell you that you're probably highly likely going to have a downside. We opened up a short. I opened up a short earlier right there and we got rejected. I'm in the short right now. I'm actually up on the short technically. Now, what we're going to look at here is the 1-hour chart, okay? Closely on the 1-hour, we're now overbought on the stochastics. That's a good sign that we may get a bounce up here, but we're going to have to watch it closely. So right now, you're in a falling wedge in the 1-hour that could save us. We might get a bounce in here that could give us a little bit of love. However, we fell out of the pattern. What I would be looking for there, if that happened, I'd be looking for this to try to get back in and do what's called a bearish retest, and even more on the short to the downside. Maybe even will add to my short at that point if I see it not get back into the pattern. We flip onto the weekly chart. We see I am called Sammy Cup and Handy. I'm known online as that because I use the cup and handle every single day when I live stream, when I do my TA. This is a cup, that is a handle. However, we're very eerily kind of battling this level here at about 30K. Could we sweep 30K? It's possible. I could definitely see it happen without a doubt. Another thing I want to show you is that we have hard resistance at 42K. That's our next line to get above. A cool little savvy thing that you learn if you join a trading group or start getting deep into crypto, you're going to understand divergences, okay? This is a swing down to a swing down here. This is a swing up to a swing up. If I match these swings in the weekly, that tells me, and I've traded many, many times in my life, 9 out of 10 times we'll make a higher high based on this. I did this down here. When we had a swing here to there, and we had a swing down, that was hidden bullish divergence. I longed that at 32.4. It was an amazing trade. I also played this like it was a cup and handle. That's why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. On October 4th, I predicted that this cup and handle would break out and go all the way up. I had a prediction of November 19th. I was 9 days short 9 days short, but we hit the exact target. You can see that on my trading group. Now, and one last thing I want to see, I just want to delete this simply. Tweezer tops and tweezer bottoms. I like tweezer bottoms. What are they? They're meaning when you see two wicks together that are, positioning strength of the buyers back to the upside. Right here, we see tweezer bottoms, and these candles match. See, this one closed where this one opens. That's important. That was a nice bottom where we would bounce. Here we saw the same thing here. Even though that wick was small, these candles would both close with two wicks. That's a tweezer. We have the same thing going on here on the weekly. If this weekly candle can close above this line here and confirm tweezer bottoms, there's a chance we did bottom there and we start to make a move to the upside. We're in volatile times. Everyone knows, talks of war, all sorts of craziness going on, the flu, all that. But, I am watching this level very closely. However, there is a chance we sweep the 30K lows, and I'm not putting 50K, 15K off the table. Like, I'm open-minded to anything. Every time I tell myself I guarantee where Bitcoin's going, it's not a good sign. I learned in my 7 years of trading, markets all over the different places, that you got to eventually just take it one day at a time. And that's what I'm doing.
There you go. I like that. Leaving it on, taking it one day at a time. When in doubt, zoom out. Absolutely. Thank you very much for all of that technical analysis. I know that a lot of people are nervous of what's going on. Should I buy? Should I sell? Hang on, whatever. So appreciate the information there. Thank you so much. All right, Meg, next question comes to you. Now, speaking of bottoms, like Crypto Lifer just spoke about, now we've seen spot volume increase over the last week. Would you say that the bottom is... Sounds like I'm in a casino all of a sudden. Would you say that the bottom is in and we continue our regularly scheduled crypto markets, or do you think that was just a bull trap?
To be honest, I am not a trader whatsoever. I am personally holding off before buying just a little bit longer. I do think that we ultimately could go lower, and that's just coming from the information that I've gathered from people that I highly respect in the space that are TA guys. So it's really hard to say, but I think it's a reminder for everybody to really take a look at their personal situation. If the last few weeks have, worried you or given you anxiety, really revisit your portfolio and decide, what adjustments do you have to make, if any at all, and do what's best for you, not what the person next to you is doing, because everybody's situation is different.
I love that. I think that's spot on. Yeah. Everyone has different strategies. What works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. So great insight, great advice. Thank you very much. It's great meeting you and chatting with you today. All right, Mr. Crusader, Mr. Blockchain Crusader. They say that the markets should define the price and not an individual, but we are seeing that anytime Jerome Powell opens up his mouth, it could be bad, it could be positive, whatever. Why is everybody so worried about what one person has to say or think, especially if we're trying to push crypto, blockchain, decentralization? Why is everyone so worried about what the Fed's doing?
Look, it's not about so much that they're worried about what the Fed is doing. It's about the fact that people just want an answer. People want to know where we're going. And when somebody speaks and they give uncertain answers, because that's all we got today from the meeting was uncertain answers, right? Everything was about, you'll know when the appropriate time comes. We're still discussing it, where the data is still developing. they don't have an answer for us. And when people are uncertain, when as content creators here, everyone comes into your channel and the first thing they ask you is, where is it going? Are we going up? Are we going down? Is this project a good buy? Right? People just want direct answers. So when Jerome Powell comes out and doesn't have answers for people, the market starts to dump, and it's just a fear manipulation for the markets, right? We're seeing higher illiquid supply for Bitcoin more than ever, and then people are calling bear markets. People are calling that it's going to keep going lower and lower. Yet the illiquid supply is higher than it's ever been. So the on-chain metrics don't represent what the sentiment of the market is, and the sentiment of the fear with the Federal Reserve increasing interest rate hikes. Yet they're just kicking the can down the line. Nothing has actually been concrete and said to be done just yet. They don't really have an answer for anything. And now all this, not misconception, but all this fear about Russia and the war, and this is just more fear manipulation in the entire market. Yet the on-chain metrics do not resemble anything of what is actually happening in the sentiment.
Yeah, I think I saw a comment in the comment section too about the Fed being hawkish. I mean, who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks? I know that certainly there is a lot of FUD going on. There is a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and all of that is happening right now. So we'll
Exactly.
just have to see where we get in the short term here, because in the long term we know up and to the right that's what's going to happen. But it's right now that everybody's kind of worried about. All right, Altcoin Daily coming to you next on this one. Now, what are you guys telling your followers right now? Obviously, you got a really good following. Did you guys hit 1 million yet?
Yes.
Congratulations. Love
Thank you.
to see that happen in the space. All right, so what are you guys telling your followers right now with markets and timing? Is it, hang on, you didn't sell yet, just pucker up, buttercup, it's going to get worse? Is it, all right, it's time to buy because the bottom is in? Or find an exit number and tether off and let's ride the storm out? What are you guys telling your folks?
J-Chains, great to be back. Love when you're hosting. Love being on Around the Blockchain. I'm just telling my followers my strategy. I can only ever speak to me and what I'm doing. And for me personally, first off, understand why the NASDAQ, why the stock market, why the crypto market is tanking in the short term. We already know because the Fed is threatening to raise rates. You lower rates when you want to increase spending, you heighten rates when you want to increase saving. So they want to take some money out of the market. Now, they haven't done it yet, but that's the reason that everybody's kind of pulling back, getting a little bit more careful. Me personally, I'm buying every single dip. I've drank the Kool-Aid. I'm a believer. In my mind, it is not an if, but when Bitcoin hits over $100,000, when Ethereum hits that next leg up. That's me. Now, what I'm not doing personally yet is investing in altcoins, even though, compared to where they were 6 months ago, some of these are, at a hugely undervalued if you believe in the long term. But me personally, I'll never regret owning more Bitcoin, more Ethereum. If we dip by another 25%, I will buy that dip. I like to dollar cost average on the way down and then sell and take profits on the way up. And in terms of when I'll start looking more at altcoins, besides Bitcoin and besides Ethereum, which is an altcoin, is when we get a little more confirmation that the market is back. And that doesn't always mean that I'll hit the exact bottom. In fact, it means I won't hit the exact bottom, but I'd rather be a little late to the party than too early to the party. And it's, we're going down lower.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question when it comes to DCA, because we obviously know it's very important. It's something we all preach in the space. How do you keep track of, and this is just, maybe conversation between you and I, but I want you to obviously give this answer to everybody. So you're going to DCA on the way down. How do you keep track of what your average price is so that when we go back up, you are actually making profit?
Good question. And I don't really, honestly, it's not that important to me because I'm more of I'm going to be in this market in 5 years. I'm going to be in this market in 10 years. Altcoins, it does matter because they're hugely way more speculative. And I do like to dollar cost average into I do like to take profits into Bitcoin. I guess for altcoins, I do use Coin Market Cap's sort of portfolio tracker. So I can just keep track of everything, what had the pump today. And if somebody if something is up 30-40% on the day, then I'll take, a little bit of profit, but I'll really just let everything ride for the short term. But Bitcoin and Ethereum, I have no clue what my average price in is. I guess I would say between 6,000 and 12,000 initially, but I did buy a whole lot as well, between, when we dipped to 30,000 and then we just kept rolling for the last 6 months.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I appreciate your answer. Thank you very much. Shout out really quick to the Cisco kid in the chat on YouTube. He said it's time to buy. It's time to buy, not Salvador. Very, very witty. I like it. Congratulations. +1 to you, bud. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this particular topic. Before we move on to the next one, make sure that you are liking this video. Without the likes, we don't get the eyes. Without the eyes, we don't have an opportunity to get more people on this channel, boost their platforms, and really bring more eyes into this whole space. So make sure that if you like crypto, if you like Crypto Lifer, if you like Meg, if you like Blockchain Crusader, and if you like Altcoin Daily, make sure that you like this video, please. And also, Altcoin Daily, really quick, I love how diplomatic you guys are and how you always think before you answer a question. So that's an extra point for you.
Thank you for that compliment.
You're very welcome. Very, very professional. All right. Next topic we're going to talk about, BJ, if you will go ahead and pull up the screen. Mark Zuckerberg and company considering selling the Diem Libra project, which was their stable coin. I should say their failed stable coin. It's apparently they are trying to sell the project assets and technology to pay off the investors. Diem is unraveling after regulatory pressure and resistance from the U.S. Federal Reserve dealt the effort a final blow. All right, Meg, coming to you first on this one, because ladies first. Although I knew Lifer had to show us a chart for the first question, but ladies first on this one. This to me is bullish. I don't know about anybody else, but I think this is bullish. Why does the government, fearing a stablecoin developed by a tech conglomerate with such a huge audience, why are they fearing this?
Oh boy. Well, because they know that it's yeah, I don't know how to answer this question.
That's okay. So do you think it? Do you think
they know it's a potential threat. Honestly, they know it's a potential threat, right? Stable coins, and that's where the government is really looking at right now is stable coins. So I do feel like Zuckerberg probably has something slimy up his sleeve. I hate to say it, but yeah, I mean, with the focus on stable coins, they know that that's a potential threat. So something that we have to keep our eyes open and watch as regulations come in and whatnot.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that they are trying to make a point out of stable coins and the regulation of it, because that ultimately takes away from what they're trying to accomplish, whether it is with fiat currency or the shift into a digital dollar. But that we can talk about later. So thank you, Meg. All right. Crypto Crusader, you are next, sir. Now, when Facebook announced that they wouldn't move forward without the approval from the government, that to me signaled that that project was dead in the water. Is that also for you when you thought this is not going anywhere?
Yeah, 100%, right? The problem is this is a perfect example of centralization and the failure, right? When you have centralization like Facebook, the government is easily going to come after you and attack you. So they were never going to get approval from the US government to have a stable coin and become one of the biggest banks in the entire world. Anybody that would have signed up for Facebook and have an account instantly have access to a US dollar competitor, right? Why would they allow that? They're terrified of crypto and they're terrified of competition. So they would never allow Facebook, and being a centralized entity, they failed the minute they said that they were going to have some type of stable coin, some type of a US dollar competitor at that level. They were dead in the water.
I totally agree. Totally agree with you there. All right, Austin.
Set me up with the question again.
All right. So who's really going to buy this tech? Honestly, like if this is for sale, you got a multi-billion-dollar tech giant. They couldn't get it done. How in the world did you expect some underpaid, underappreciated developer to take this over and actually make it successful? Who's actually going to buy this project?
Are we still we're still talking about Diem, correct?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, yes.
Okay. First off, let's make one thing clear. Mark Grillin meets Zuckerberg is in the business of making money. He's not in the business of doing the right thing. He's not in the businesses of making you feel good. He's in the business of making money. And by the way, that on its own, nothing wrong with that. I applaud that. The issue is wait a minute. He's in the business of making money, but we all use Facebook for free. Uh-oh, are we the product? Is he making money by taking our data and monetizing our data? That's what I have a problem with. Now, he tried to get in on, he understands tech, he understands innovation. He's obviously created Facebook, and he understood that payments and cryptocurrencies was this new frontier, and he wanted to monetize off it. Now he got roadblock after roadblock after roadblock with CBDCs, because it turns out the government has a problem with that. Pivot to the metaverse. There's way less regulation on Meta and the metaverse, and guess what? He can still steal that data. He can still not even steal. We can still give him that data, and he can still monetize off that data. So it's way less barriers for him, and could be almost, if not more, profitable for him to excel in the metaverse rather than to try and compete with the US dollar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to think, like, obviously they're going to regulate crypto and they're going to regulate a lot of blockchain stuff, but how do you regulate the metaverse? You don't. Especially when you're trying to well, I guess it's maybe a different topic or idea, but especially because they're trying to subsidize the cost of the Oculus because they want more people in it, because then they get more data. And the more data they get, I mean, obviously we know Mr. Grillin Meat Zuckerberg is not looking out for your privacy. Well, thank you, Austin. All right, Lifer, last question on this topic comes to you. Now, what if, in an unexpected plot twist, the United States government buys Diem and that becomes their digital dollar?
Thank you so much for that question. I've learned something. No, that's a great way to be. I mean, that's awesome. That's why I love Altcoin Daily. The guys have set me straight since day one. I've been watching those guys since 4 years. They're probably the reason I'm here. Anyway,
awesome.
You know,
appreciate you.
Diem, number one, let's break it down. They couldn't. Blockchain's about trust, right? I mean, not about. I mean, it's a trustless AMAs, but it's the communities are strong, right? When you see a coin, and we're all about, like, you know, freeing ourselves from the banking cartels. Number one, if you do any watch a documentary on the United States history, you'll learn that the Federal Reserve, the IMF, they've been controlling the money supply since like the 1500s, the 1600s. They're not going to let some, you know, Harvard grad come in there with a few $1 billion and create a world bank. It's not happening. So that was off the table, off the jump, if you know basically how money is created in the world. Secondly, Facebook broke trust to the people that they, you know, the community that they had. Like I have Facebook for business, but I stopped using it like 7 years ago. Like I just couldn't stand it. So how are they going to actually think they were going to come into in the community of crypto, where we're all like, look at us all here together. I've been watching Altcoin, like he's taught me stuff. Like I watched BitBoy, like it's a community, and they really disgrace their community. So like, how are they going to actually take that community and create a beautiful thing for crypto? You know, now, so two things, you know, the US government was never going to let it rock. That's guaranteed. It wasn't going to happen. Right. But secondly, I'm so happy because I didn't like the project from day one. You know what I'm saying? Like seize the day, like how dare they even use Diem? Like it's so anti seize the day. It's basically put you back in the same control that, you know, we've been fighting for hundreds of years. So yeah, I want people that have innovative projects that want to change society for the best. And I don't think that's smart. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. I absolutely agree with you there. Great point. Great everybody's point on this last question. Now, typically we'll do a lightning round after the first question, but I want to ask it on the second one just because I like to shake things up. I do things, I beat to my own drum, if you will. So BJ, cue the lightning round.
Lightning!
Wow. All right. So the lightning round question today, I'm going to go how I see you guys on my screen from left to right. So it'll go Lifer, Meg, Crusader, Daily. The question is, if you had the opportunity, now remember, this is for sale, say a DAO picks it up. Would you buy into this if a DAO picked it up? Yes or no? It's just a yes or no. You got 10 seconds on the clock.
DM still? DM still?
Yep.
Never for any reason. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Perfect.
Done.
All right. Point for you. Meg, what about you? Would you buy Diem?
Yeah, I'm definitely with Crypto Lifer on this one, 100%. I want to get as far away from anything Zuckerberg has been a part of.
Yes, don't be a sucker.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. All right, Crusader, what do you got?
Yeah, absolutely not, right? This is a tainted project, and the way that they're just built is just an absolute no for me.
Perfect. All right, Austin.
If the United States government approved and this became the digital official dollar, then yes, I would use it. Right now, I like using USDC because it's the most regulated in my mind. It's just a little safer if I'm trying to be a stable coin rather than Tether. So if the United States government did it, you know, I'm still using fiat in my daily life, less and less these days. I'm still going to use the digital fiat, whatever they deem. But if it's just picked up by some random company, or if it's just Zuck in there, hell no.
I love it. All right. That was your lightning round, brought to you by, what has he got? The big green egg, right? That's what he smokes his meats on, the green egg. Yes.
Somebody's a fan. Somebody's a deep fan.
Shut up, Austin.
I don't know about the egg.
All right. Anyway, on to the last topic of today. We are going to be talking about the Treasury trying to sneak in an act to ban transactions that would be deemed as criminal or money laundering, i.e. what they think is crypto. All right. BJ, if you could pull up the screen really quick again. Thank you. We're doing it a different way today. So again, the title of this one is New Act Could Let Treasury Secretly Ban Crypto Transactions. Now, this proposed ruling could have a disastrous consequences for the crypto sector. The America Competes Act could give the U.S. Treasury the overarching power to immediately ban any financial transaction associated with money laundering risks, i.e., in their opinion, crypto. Meg, my question coming to you on this. They want to ban financial transactions with a money laundering risk. To me, it seems like banning fiat or cash would be better than crypto because the blockchain is visible, cash is not. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I think that that's the issue. I mean, with politicians, right? And I've noticed that coming into this space, I was really naive to that part of it. But my guess is they don't want to, like, us to be able to see their transactions as well, right? So yeah, it could be interesting to see what happens. I really do feel like they're holding back innovation, in the States anyway. I'm from Canada, but it's really just putting you guys a step further back, and that's really unfortunate to see because so many people are widely adopting crypto in this. So it is what it is. It sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is. And you're right. But you're seeing countries adopt it as legal tender. You're seeing, a lot of changes within the space. But then, like what you said about they don't want you to see their transactions. Like Nancy Pelosi says, no, even though I'm a politician, I should be able to do my trading and all this stuff. I mean, to me, that's garbage. I agree with you. They just want to be able to hide what they are doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more apparent to me, the, shady stuff that kind of happens. And it's really unfortunate because I do try and see the best in people. And it's unfortunate for sure.
Absolutely. Always the burden to bear when you're an eternal optimist. I am as well. All right, Austin, when I hear stories like this, it makes me think of prohibition, right? So you can stop the centralized exchanges from conducting business and stop those transactions, right? But they're not going to be able to do anything about a DEX. Am I wrong in thinking that? What are your thoughts on that? Equating them doing something like this to a prohibition style ban?
My thoughts are, one, do we need to change the language? Could this language be detrimental to the crypto space? Hell yeah, change that language. Number two, am I worried how this will affect Bitcoin in the long term? Hell no. Because like you just mentioned, a DEX at a certain point was doing more volume than the number one exchange in the United States at a certain point last year. Sort of a proof of concept on what could be. You don't need to go through all this regulatory tape to use Uniswap. You need a cell phone with some internet service, and man, you're connected. Number two, the biggest exchange, centralized exchange in trading volume is Binance. They're global. They are anti-regulation. They don't have an office, for better or for worse, and we'll see how that plays out. But the United States can either get behind or be left behind, in my opinion, because if they start really enforcing it, and my thought is, they'll put the language in, not really enforce it, but we don't want that problem down the road if they choose to interpret the language 10 years from now, how it's poorly worded today. But Kraken, who's in Europe and in America, can easily just go to Europe. Coinbase can easily just go to Canada. Maybe Meg can help us out with that one. But generally speaking, there is could the markets dip in the short term because if they chose to implement something like this? Hell yeah. Could that take us into a multi-year bear market? People putting out memes, the end is near. Yeah, it would be detrimental, but it would not kill Bitcoin. It would not kill the truly decentralized protocols that have the users. At its worst, and this is the darkest timeline, then it could kill a lot of DeFi that's trying to pop up in America that have the foundations behind them. But in the end, this would only slow things down. It would not kill it.
I love it. I'm right there with you, man. I would echo everything that you just said. So good job, brother.
We're vibing,
all right,
man. We're vibing.
Man, I'm feeling it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. One extra pay. There's a
Hey,
point for the that's a
nice.
point for the vibe right there. All right, Lifer. How can people get involved to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen? That to make sure that a ban like this doesn't happen. Is this just your typical call your senator, leave a voicemail, write an email, that kind of thing? What can people do as individuals to get involved in this and make sure that our voices as the people within this community, we've been in crypto for years, how can our voice be heard?
Thank you so much for that question. It's a very loaded question because there's deep history behind what's really happening. You have to know a lot about the economies, world banks, to realize why are people making these decisions. And I know it. I can't really go deep into all of it now because you'd have to
Yeah.
But the point is they want control. Okay. They want to know where you bought and sold something. And at one point, if say one of you was someone that, say you bought a bicycle off me and you had a KuCoin account and I just sent you $100 in KuCoin and then you hit hard. You just happen to 10x that and 10x that. Next thing you know, you're sitting on 500 grand in a KuCoin account. Nobody knows about that. And that could happen all around the world over and over again. So they're worried. Like, how many people are sitting on all this crypto somewhere and we don't know? And we can't get access to it. We can't tax them. They're freaking out, in my humble opinion. I almost think this is a win for us. It's showing signs that they're losing strength, that they're trying to shield up. Why do you put a shield up? Because arrows are coming at you, right? So why are they talking about having to be on the offense? Because they must be looking at a way where they're losing somewhat control. What worries me is when governments lose control, they tend to act very crazily and take rights away to gain them back. 1971, the government actually confiscated gold from American citizens. People don't know this. In the 70s, they confiscated your gold. They said it was for Bretton Woods and you got to send it. It was a scam, really. Took all of America's gold out. Still probably been selling it off. How much is gold is in Fort Knox? They won't tell us. We've been asking for years. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to want to get to the end of these answers, and they're deeper than you realize. And you're going to want them. So how do you change this? Yeah, you can write to your senator. We got John Deaton. We got some guys who are doing great things, Support the guys that are running strong. Go to rallies if you can. Write to them. Meet with them. I'm talking about, I had meetings with lawyers. I'm talking about hiring lobbyists in the next few years. Like, I'm taking this to the top. Like, I'm not going to play games. Like, this is how you have to play this game. And I said this before when I was on the blockchain. So if we want to play this type of ball, you can put your sign up and do that same thing. How has that worked? Has that worked for us? Remember Wall Street? Remember everyone out there? I was in New York City. Like, it's right back to the way it was again 5 years later. So I love protest. I love your voice. I love the American way. I'm a constitutionalist 110%. But I mean, we have to start going inside of the system to break it, in my humble opinion. But we can, right? We can.
Yeah. No, you are right, man. Absolutely right. I love your passion. I love where you're going with that. I think more people need to step up, right? Like, we can't just accept some of these things that are happening to us. If enough people rise up and your voices will be heard. So cheers to you, man. I like that passion that you had going in your answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Blockchain Crusader, last question of the day coming to you. I am not sure if you're a tax expert or not. I don't think that matters. But if they do,
I'm not.
Okay, well, but if they do ban crypto transactions and make that activity illegal, do we have to report capital gains at that point?
I mean, I'm sure they would want to, but I'm sure it's going to motivate a lot of people not to, right? And I think that is why this thing won't happen in the first place. I don't think they're going to ban transactions. I think they just want to have the power to block transactions when it's convenient to them. I love how this act is called the America Competes Act, but is it a competition if it's rigged and you can't compete against the U.S. dollar? Right?
No,
Like,
not at all.
How is it competition, right? When they see the threat of crypto and they're instantly trying to shut it down. They know they can't. And like Austin said, right, it's only a delay tactic. Even if it were to pass, which I honestly don't think it's going to pass at all. A great way to go against this is opt out of the dollar, right? Get out of it. But your question, right? To answer your question about the taxes, they want more ways to make more money taxing people. And they know that taxing crypto gains is a great way of making money. And they're not going to let that slip away just to be able to ban it, right? This little law that they're trying to pass right now is kind of just hinting at the fact that the only thing they're trying to compete with is China becoming a social credit and controlling people in the masses. That's the only thing they're actually competing with. They're not their dollar cannot compete with crypto, and they're afraid. And they're, like Austin said, they're just doing a delay tactic here.
Yeah, no, I like what you're saying there. And I agree with you. And one thing that we talked about, I think it was last week on Around the Blockchain, you know, we were talking about the IRS. I think they hired like 400 lawyers to start looking into blockchain. You know, like, so they're putting all this resource into it. Why would you stifle it and like ban the transactions when you want that money? Makes no sense. But I think nothing that the government right now is doing is making any sense to any of us. All right, guys and lady. With that being said, that takes us through all the questions that I have. That takes us through the time that we've got for today. Austin, I did see that someone said +1 for the J-Chains Austin man crush. Very cute. I'll take it.
Can I get a +1?
I'll take my half.
+1, +1, +1, +1. Everyone, you get a point. You get a point. You get a point. Jokes aside, that's all we got time for today. So, Austin, you did take the point total. So, if you would like to leave some people with a parting thought, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Love being on Around the Blockchain. J-Chains, you're an awesome host. Love DZ, love J-Chains, love the different personalities. I want to encourage the audience out there to go check out Meg's channel, go check out Cup and Handy himself, Crypto Lifer's channel, as well as Miguel at Blockchain Crusader, Debate Crypto. All great channels. Appreciate being on the panel today, and see you tomorrow. Not on this show. I know you guys are taking a break tomorrow, but on my show, I guess.
Yes, we are going to be taking a break for the rest of the week. We got Ben, TJ, DZ, Justin, and my co-host on New Money Gang, all in Austin, Texas for the BitBoy meetup. If you are in the Austin area or Central Texas, make sure you find your way down there. They're at the Palmer Event Center tomorrow night. But that's all we got time for today here on Around the Blockchain. We will see you next week. Adios, amigos.